What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going over the best raid builds to defeat the upcoming 7-star Mightiest Mark Sceptile for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And these builds can be used either solo or online. And of course, guys, if you like my type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam by hitting that join channel member button below. So let's do a quick overview of Sceptile. So it's gonna have the hidden ability Unburden, meaning it's gonna have essentially double speed when it's used an item. But, you know, it might have an item, might not. It doesn't really matter because we're going to be slower than Sceptile no matter what, as it is base 120 speed, and I'm not going to try to outspeed it. But the thing is, it's not a really strong Pokemon. 85 attack, 105 special attack, but its special move pool is so bad that we can actually hard counter it on its special attacking side. But I actually think it's going to be a mixed attacker between physical and special because it has a much better physical move pool. On the defensive side, 70 HP is pretty weak, 65 defense is pathetic, and 85 special defense is okay, but still with that 70 HP, it's going to be a glass cannon, and this is going to allow us to get some one-turn KO videos done on this, so definitely check out the channel in the future for a video guide on that. Now, looking at the moveset, I think it might have the 4 or 5 special moves it'll probably have is 1, Dragon Pulse, because it is Terra Dragon, Energy Ball, because that's the best special attacking move that has no downsides to it. And then Focus Blast, because I'm like, after Energy Ball and Dragon Pulse, it really goes downhill, and Focus Blast could potentially be any steel type someone might bring to this raid, just in case to resist the dragon. And then there's Solar Beam and Leaf Storm, which I don't think these moves will be main moves. I think those would be moves that happen during like the special part of the raid. That's usually like time dependent or HP dependent. But if it has one of these, it doesn't really matter. That's not really that scary, especially Leaf Storm because it'll drop its special attack. But if it does that, then it'll probably reset its stats right after that, as we saw in the beginning of the Charizard raid on turn 0. Now for physical moves, it has a much better physical move pool. But the safe moves that I think we should all prepare for is Leaf Blade. It's like his signature move. Breaking Swipe would be the physical dragon move that would also lower our physical attack by 1. And then Acrobatics, because Acrobatics essentially is going to be doing 110 damage because there's going to be no item on the Sceptile, and that's going to hit very hard, and flying is pretty good coverage in general. Now, the setup moves is either going to have Dragon Dance or Swords Dance. It is already pretty fast, but Dragon Dance, you know, it is Terra Dragon, Dragon Dance. I can see them going for the flavor on that. So I could totally see Dragon Dance occurring, but if not Dragon Dance, Swords Dance, which I think Swords Dance would make the raid harder. But I think either way, it's going to have one of these setup moves. And then it could have Sunny Day if it does the Sunny Day Solar Beam tech, like any grass type could potentially do. We haven't seen it for a minute though, so I don't think it's going to happen, but it's just worth putting out there. Now for the build. The best solo physical attacker is going to be Azumarill with the Terra Fairy and the Shell Bell. Your fairy types are immune to dragon, and normally you're weak to grass. However, we're going to have the ability Sap Sipper on Azumarill, and this is going to make it so we're immune to grass and we get an attack boost. We're going to be running max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, and because we're immune to dragon and immune to grass, we're going to have no issues whatsoever because of its very limited move pool on the Sceptile. So turn 1, Belly Drum, turn 2, Play Rough, and then you just play rough until you win. The other decent moves that you can pretty much run on here is going to be Charm and Light Screen, just in case it somehow has a lot of like heavy special attacks. But even then, you could probably replace this as Helping Hand and just run some more support moves. But you most likely will never use these moves, as Azumarill will definitely be able to solo, and on online raids, if you have one supporter with you, can set up screens on your behalf. This is going to make the raid even easier. So I think Azumarill is straight up the best solo in terms of speed, and it should be able to clear out this Sceptile pretty quickly. Now, some people want to say Zacian here. I think he works with the Intrepid Sword, Rusted Sword here. Max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature. I would build him with Swords Dance and Play Rough and Howl, and your last move doesn't really matter. But Azumarill is just better, so I would recommend something like Azumarill over Zacian here. Now, Magearna might be the best solo for special attackers, with Steel Fairy, meaning you're immune to dragon and you resist grass with the Terra Fairy. We're going to have Pixie Plate because we have the move Draining Kiss, which is going to give us back HP, so we don't need Shell Bell Recovery. We actually can just use Draining Kiss to get our HP back. And so we're going to be pretty much good to go for this raid. And then Pixie Plate will further increase our fairy type damage by 20%. Now, we're going to go max HP, max special attack, modest nature. Whenever we solo with Magirna, our raid partners will eventually die, and when they do die, we get a special attack boost. So we don't even need to focus on boosting our special attack immediately. Turn 1, I'll go for an Iron Defense just in case the Sceptile for some reason has Earthquake or something like that. And then after that, you can just go for a Draining Kiss 3-4 times, get your Terra off, and then just start popping off there. And you can also go for a couple of Calm Minds too, just to further boost your special defense and your special attack by 1. It's not necessary, but if it does have some strong hitting special attacking moves for like, let's say it's like a Solar Beam or a Leaf Storm, maybe some special defense could become useful. And we're going to have Flora Cannon as our signature nuke. This is going to essentially be the move to end the raid with. It can miss, so feel free just to use PP Max and Draining Kiss, but I think one Flora Cannon will make the raid go really fast if you do land it. Next up is going to be Sylveon. And also with Sylveon, I would probably recommend running the Pixie Plate on it as well. So you could go with Pixie Plate Sylveon instead of going for the Covert Cloak. But Covert Cloak is actually pretty decent if it does have Energy Ball and drop special defense as an example. But you don't really necessarily need Shell Bell because once again, we are a Draining Kiss Pokemon. And we're going to go max HP, max special attack with the modest nature, the hidden ability Pixelate. That's going to make normal type moves into fairy type moves and give them a further damage boost. So fun things we can do with this. We can go set up like a couple Calm Minds in the beginning or set up some fake tears to lower that special defense. We can build up our Terra Charge and get our HP back with Draining Kiss. And then for a tactical nuke, go for a pixelated boosted Terra Fairy Hyper Beam. That should easily destroy the Sceptile. There's going to be another competitor for the best solo right here is definitely going to be that Sylveon. Now, Fluttermane, another Pokemon that I could put on Pixie Plate. I would have more Pixie Plates, I just don't. But I would put Pixie Plate on this because we are running the Draining Kiss. That's going to be a great option. But like I said, Covert Cloak's pretty good if you're worried about like Energy Ball, special defense drops. With the Terra Fairy, max special attack, max special defense might be the way to go, or max special attack, max defense will be the way to go. The thing is, Fluttermane has a really bad defense stat and HP stat, so I'd rather focus on what it's good at, which is special attack and special defense, but I won't know until the raid come out, so this Fluttermane EVs might change, but for sure, it's going to be modest with max special attack. It could just be max special attack and max defense, but once again, it's going to run very similar to Sylveon. It's going to do more damage, but it's also going to have less bulk. So that's the big difference between Fluttermane and Sylveon. But you have Fake Tears set up, you have Calm Mind and Draining Kiss for sustain and build up the charge. You actually have Moonblast. You don't have something like a Hyper Beam Pixelate, so Sylveon does outperform there. But Moonblast, you know, you can repeat it more often, and it also has to change to learn that special attack, which could be really useful. Now for the best supporters, Galarian Weezing is freaking incredible. Terra Fairy, Poison Fairy, so immune to Dragon, resist the grass, and we're going to have Shell Bell on it. I have mine max HP, max defense with a bold nature. Neutralizing gas is good, but that's also going to affect your teammates, so you could switch this to Levitate. So if the Sceptile does have Earthquake, you should definitely switch Neutralizing Gas over to Earthquake. Just to keep that in mind, it does have really good abilities. It just depends on what you want to run with it, and we'll figure that out when the raid goes. But the general build is going to be Acid Spray to go through shields, load that special defense, Clear Smog to remove any of the Dragon Dances or Swords Dances it might have put on, Will-O-Wisp to burn it. If you can burn the Sceptile immediately and it does have a like physical moveset, then this is going to be great and help everyone like stay alive. And then your main damage move is going to be Strange Steam. It's going to be stab and super effective, and it can also confuse the Sceptile too, which is going to be pretty interesting stuff there. So I would recommend the Galarian Weezing. Another great Pokemon is Alcremie, Terra Fairy with the Light Clay, max HP with max defense with a bold nature. The reason why we use this Pokemon is you have Decorate, so you can put Decorate on any of your teammates' Pokemon, increase their special attack and physical attack by 2, which is going to be really helpful, especially for the special attackers who are pretty slow at setting up their own damage. You have Sustain with Draining Kiss, so you can stay alive and do damage, which is very nice. You can set up a Light Screen as well. You can also, instead of Light Screen, you can put Charm here if you would like. And you also have Helping Hand to get that 50% damage boost for 1 turn on one of your allied Pokemon. Next up, we have Grimmsnarl, and this is going to be our last supporter. Grimmsnarl with the Terra Fairy and the Light Clay. Max HP, either max defense or max special defense. You just got to see how the raid ends up. But the ability Prankster is going to be phenomenal here. It's going to allow you to guarantee get your Light Screen Reflect and Fake Tears off immediately. And because we have Light Clay, Light Screen and Reflect are going to be lasting 8 turns. And we have also Light Clay on the Alcremie just for its Light Screen too. The big thing is, though, Prankster with screens is just so useful, and you can use these immediately at the beginning of the raid. So turn 1, turn 2, Light Screen Reflect. And then from there, you can just set up Fake Tears to help your special attackers out. And then you can use Spirit Break to do stab super effective damage and lower the special attack of the Sceptile by 1, and it works through shield. So honestly, this is a really good Pokemon. All 3 of these supporters do something really great. So you can't go wrong with any of them in general. But I will say that, honestly, I think Azumarill and Magearna are going to be your 2 best solos. Sylveon is probably going to perform just as well as these guys. Fluttermane probably performs a little bit worse than Sylveon. And then these 3 supporters are all incredible. But there we have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. And let me know in the comment section below what Pokemon you plan on using for this raid, either from my guide or whatever build you made. Stay tuned for a 1-turn KO video for this Sceptile. And of course, we'll be doing a live stream of this raid this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace out and have a good one.